Well, the weather may not feel much like spring out there. It comes and it goes, but spring is on the way. The May issue of Down East Magazine is now out, and with us here on 207 to talk about it is Editor-in-Chief Will Grunewald. Thanks for coming in, Will. Good to have you here,
Thanks
as
for
always.
having me.
So on the cover, a big spread on the Great Maine Scavenger Hunt, which is an annual feature that Down East has. What's the scavenger hunt all about?
Yeah. So our readers are probably pretty familiar with this by now, but it's our sort of our summer excursion planner with a mix of classic Maine experiences and off the beaten path stuff. And for people who really want to go all in and check off all the boxes, they can win some prizes. 28
different destinations that you've laid out. People go take a selfie. That's the idea, right?
Yeah, and it would be a full summer if you managed to do them all.
It would, because you got to go to a lot of different places, check off a lot of different boxes. Let's just talk. You've got different categories: food, arts and culture, history and landmarks, and so forth, 4 categories in all. Let's just touch on a couple of the things that are on the list of destinations. One of them is Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument, where some new things are happening now.
Yeah. Just late last year, they completed this really great new contact station or sort of educational center that talks about the natural history of the property, as well as the human history of it, the Wabanaki experience of that landscape. And beyond that, it's just an absolute architectural gem that every Mainer should make a point of seeing. The national parks are all operating under a degree of uncertainty this summer, but it sounds like they expect to be up and running with the contact center by early summer here.
And another destination that's on the scavenger hunt list is Wells Reserve at Loudholme Farm in Wells.
Yeah, really just a neat property, especially in that it combines both beautiful coastal scenery with local and agricultural history. So you kind of get slices of various walks of Maine life there, and great spot to go hang out.
And we should just emphasize that on the scavenger hunt, it's not just places to go, but it's experiences, it's food to try, it's a lot of fun stuff. On to something else in the article, a profile that you wrote of a really gifted guy named Ben Wally. What does he do?
Yeah, so I think Ben fills a really interesting niche in the fishing world. If we talk about fly fishing in Maine together, at least from my mind goes to the Rangeley Lakes region and gray ghosts and fly rod Crosby. But Ben, who's both a guide and a fly tyer, is after primarily striped bass. He's a saltwater fly fisherman. And he ties some truly impressive flies.
Beautiful flies.
Yeah, and he's become, I think, really one of the preeminent saltwater fly tyers in the country. His flies have been fished in oceans around the world. He's a very talented individual.
A really cool niche that he occupies. Let's talk about one more article that is in the new issue. It's called The Secret Lives of Mudflats. Among the many things I did not know is that of the just over 50,000 acres of mudflats that Maine has, most of them are in Hancock and Washington counties. So there's one little bit of trivia. But overall, there's a lot about mudflats that we just don't pay attention to, don't know about, right?
Totally, yeah. So, and to your point, so Susan Shetterly, who wrote this piece, lives down east, and because of the dramatic tides and the contour of the coast there, they have more mudflats than the rest of the state. But I think we all know them, right? We've driven by them, we've smelled them, that lovely sulfuric smell, and when you look at them, they just kind of look like an expanse of muck. I know that clammers go out, and you see the birds flying around, but what people have been finding out through research is that these are much more fascinating, diverse biomes than any of us really appreciate.
These are ecosystems that are just teeming with different kinds of life.
Yeah. As I looked at the photos and read through this piece, there are a lot of moments I'm just like, wow. It's it reminds me of a classic National Geographic kind of story about just some slice of the world that is unexpectedly fascinating.
A slice of the world in our own backyard that we really don't know all that much about, most of us. All right, we got to leave it there. Will, thank you as always. Those articles and more in the May issue of Down East Magazine. It's out now. Stay with us. We're going to return to 207 right after this quick break.